Meanwhile, Chirag Paswan, the chief of the LJP party, has responded to the results, saying that PM Modi is the person he would hail for this victory. He says that the increased vote share of his party has consolidated his party in every district of Bihar. That's the response coming in on the results by LJP's chief Chirag Paswan. LJP has won just one seat out of the 137 that it contested, but its overall impact on the results have been much more than that. Well, joining me now to discuss this important aspect that we are looking at right now is Nilanjan Sarkar, political analyst. Good morning, Mr. Sarkar. It seems, very clear now that the LJP has done what it set out to do. Would you agree with that? Because it made no bones about the fact that it wanted the BJP to emerge as the bigger partner, and it wanted the NDA reduced in stature, and that's precisely what seems to have happened.
Exactly.
I beg your pardon, the JDU reduced in stature.
Yes. The LJP contested against the JDU in 113 out of 115 of its seats. And in those 113 seats, in 51 of those 113, the LJP had more than a 10% vote share. So, almost certainly it was a reservoir for people who still wanted to vote for a party that was aligned with the NDA, but did no longer want to vote for Nitish. So, vote shares never sort of transfer perfectly, but, if you add back LJP's vote share to JDU, you would have had JDU's tally increase by at least 30 seats. So obviously that's not how transfers work, but it tells you at least what was possible, how much of the vote share may have actually moved away from the JDU because the LJP had put up a candidate in that place.
Absolutely. No, that's a big, important, in fact, takeaway that you've just pointed out for us, because you're saying in terms of vote share, in a rough calculation, about 30 seats would have gone to JDU if LJP was not contesting against it. And let's not forget, the LJP made sure that they were putting up candidates where there is a JDU candidate. They have not contested as many seats where the BJP is in the fray to begin with. So that just gives out their game plan completely. I also want to ask you, would Chirag Paswan then be credited, be rewarded in any way, and how would that happen?
I don't know. I'm sure right now there are probably a number of people who are upset with him, but I think he's proven his point. There's something that we don't often think about when we think about parties coming together to form coalitions, right? When we think about parties who can win seats. Now, we know the LJP only won one seat, but there's this sort of middle ground of parties who can be impactful. Meaning the NDA likely would have comfortably been ahead had the LJP been a part of it. But when the LJP is outside of it, I think Chirag Paswan has shown that, it can go with panic. So I think in the short term there might be some hurt feelings, but we know that ultimately the game is elections. And so we know that, in reality, given what has happened, the NDA is going to bring Chirag Paswan back for elections in Bihar, and perhaps in the future accede to a few more of his demands.
Yes, absolutely. All that remains to be seen, but this is interesting. Having won just one seat, of course, out of the 137, that's extremely insignificant. But what is significant is the impact that a party like LJP has had in the overall outcomes. Nilanjan Sarkar, thanks for joining us this morning.